Day 4, here we are. Mate, the wind has arrived. Oh, and it is glorious. It's good to have the boat singing along at 7 knots now. Got a one reef in the main, full head sail out. It's been pretty slow going the last 4 days, all these light winds. We've been trying our hardest between motoring and then full sail, sailing in light southerlies that are sort of coming up. I feel like we've been going against the current as well. That's why we haven't made heaps of ground in the last 4 days. But it is beautiful. We've got this northeast wind now as forecasted. So it's good that it's arrived. It's only meant to swing around to be more east. And because we've got such a good southerly ground, it's just going to continually keep this wind on our back quarter as we head towards Cocos Keeling. So it's feeling good. 300 miles left to go to Cocos. At this speed, mate, we'll be there tomorrow.
The first part of our passage across the southern Indian Ocean route has us heading due south from Indonesia, pointing towards the islands of Cocos Keeling as a rough turning point to head west. Whilst we departed in light winds, this patch of water can also become boisterous when the southeast trade winds push further north throughout the season. Therefore, we decided to tackle the lighter conditions for an easier, slower sail south than to be beating to windward in a week's time. Sailing across the Indian Ocean and continuing our journey around the world has been years in the making. To now be leaving familiar lands and on our way making ground towards our next destination is the most rewarding feeling, and a feeling that I have been chasing for years. With all the preparation that has gone into this trip, I never thought that we would be flying the asymmetrical spinnaker in light winds. But I know as we get further south there are going to be some challenging sailing conditions as we venture across the infamous rough Indian Ocean, a patch of ocean that many cruisers choose to avoid, although the challenges begin before we even reach the rough waters.
We had a pretty good run this morning, you know. We had that beautiful wind to start sailing, and then as it backed off, we had the spinnaker up for all afternoon, most of the day. But as it's like 4 o'clock in the hour now, the wind's really dropped out and it's got super light. Got a cargo ship out to port. It's going to cross our bow. So I thought, oh, we'll just sock the spinnaker because everything's just shaking and flapping. Turn the motor on. No water coming out, mate. Hopefully it's just something simple, like we've sucked plastic up into the strainer, but otherwise I'm probably going to have to change the impeller. So we'll just go through all of that now. Might sock the spinnaker still and let this ship pass us with ease. Unfortunately, you know, I've done all the checks from the water intake, seacock, through the strainer, all the way up to the water pump, the impeller, and there's definitely water getting to the motor, so the fact that it's not going through the engine and out the exhaust pretty well guarantees saying that it's the impeller. How frustrating. Oh well, just got to change it in the sweat box. Well, we got the water pump out, man. Everything's just a hassle because of the access, but we've got it out and you can see how toasty the impeller is. We'll swap that out and we shouldn't have the issue. I can't remember the last time I changed this. It's probably been over 12 months, so it's probably about time. Impeller. Just gonna tighten them up. Oh, then we can go again. Spent way too much time in this room on this passage, eh?
I thought you liked it. I swear it's your secret sauna.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like you love sweating.
Man cave is coming through. Right, open the seacock, we'll prime it up to there and we should be good to go. Here it comes. There we go. now that we're back here in Padang, been able to get stuck into these fuel tanks to see what the actual issue, why our filters were getting clogged and why the engine was cutting out. As you can see here, there's just this one big lump. We've got heaps and heaps of spare filters, so any of that last little bit, we're just gonna have to run it through the filters is the plan, because I did want to siphon them out, but mate, that was just way too hard. Because of our little fuel issue, we're just trying to keep the tank number 2 a little bit fuller. It's getting down below a quarter now. Yeah, we just got to keep the second tank topped up while I think about how I'm going to remove the fuel line and fix it. Like a gentle pour. Potentially, we might make a detour and head to Cocos Keeling because we've got such light weather. We've got another couple of light days, so we're probably going to burn through the diesel quite a bit. It's going to be slow picking for the next 3 days until the easterlies start. So yeah, we'll just see how we run. But I think maybe we might go to Cocos. Why not, eh?
Yeah.
Why not, eh? A little blocked fuel line issue. I was thinking I was going to have to get that tank down a lot more, because when I cracked it at the tank, you know, it's so full, it's just squirting out, so we don't want to be losing any sort of our diesel. But before the valve, we've cracked it there, so that goes from the tank to the valve. And then I got the old bike pump out onto it, and I thought, well, it's only going to be a wee little bit of gunk, because there's two 90-degree corners that it's sort of the fuel line goes around, so it's going to be a wee little bit of gunk that's just clogged in that corner, I think. The old bike pump, mate. Pressurised, blew it back into the tank. Problem for Yosh later, because we're back on point. Woo! We got our fuel back, so it makes life a lot easier. I don't need to stress out so much now, but we just need to be aware that there's still a wee bit of gunk in the fuel tank.
Isco came to party.
Lasagna! Yeah, the boys.
God damn it. Always gets me.
We'd sort of been sailing along waiting for this easterly to kick in, and we sort of got that easterly last night, so we made our jibe. We're just trying to keep that northerly ground. You can see that there's all that red stuff down south. That's sort of like the southeast, that's the trade that's pushing up. But you can see the sort of quite a definitive line. That's like a low frontal system, because there's a bit of a low up above us. So we thought we'd make our jibe and just sort of stay to the east and to the north of that area until this easterly trade comes in from like over Australia, Indonesia way, and sort of squashes it all. And that's the sort of winds we're hoping to be sailing with. But they're just going this morning, got a couple of big clouds, and they've just squashed all the wind. So they're in that confused sea state now with no wind, and everything was just flapping. So a little convergence zone. So we've got the motor on again, just more for our own sanity to move, to get through this little bit, and we'll try to get a little nap in, and then let the weather sort itself out, and hopefully that easterly just starts blowing, so then we can get back under sail and lock the boat in a bit better. I need to get a sleep though, I'm tired. I got my unicorn. number 6, and you know, we've been aiming to get down south. We're at 11 degrees south now. We've been aiming to get down to 14, at least just get down far enough so we start getting into the trades. After a challenging 48 hours with having to change the impeller on the motor, and then subsequently that unprimed the water line for the generator, so the sensor, overheating sensor, was tripping on the generator, so that took me a little bit of time to figure out why the generator was tripping. We had a really low water tank at the time too, and we couldn't make water, so it was a bit of a stressful 48 hours there. But changed the impeller, fixed the generator, primed the lines, and making water, and now we got a full tank again. So just got to stay on top of that and make sure we always have a full tank. We carry 1,000 litres in our tank, so if anything does break in the future, we're going to have 1,000 litres to play with rather than 50. But the southeast easterly has just started, so we're just north of Cocos Keeling. We'll pass Cocos Keeling off to our port, 50 miles that way. And now we're into the wind now. From here on in, it's time to get serious. We've had some pretty cruisy days sailing, really, to be honest. Like, we may have been upwind a fair bit of it, but still it's been super cruisy. Nothing more than 10, 15 knots, apart from that single squall of 25 knots on the nose. We've had pretty dreamy conditions. Today is very dreamy, forecast east-southeast with this 15 knots. But as we sort of make our way across Cocos Keeling into that trade wind belt, we're going to start seeing a bit more stronger winds. Hopefully this trade squashes that low front that we saw earlier on across Cocos. So by the time we reach there, we just have trade winds. So you can see all the cloud band up ahead of us. So now that the wind started, hopefully it sort of squashes and those clouds slowly disperse. But we'll just keep on trucking, expecting wind from here on in. So it's time to full send it. Stay tuned to that tracker because it's going to be going fast. See that? Back there. It's just a beautiful day on the ocean. I feel really good. I'm rejuvenated now. Everything's working, everything's fixed. It's a bit scary there for a little bit, but we're over those scares now and we're sailing. Angie too loves it. Because we're super rolly again, I think that little bit of gunk that clogged the motor is now in that uptake for the generator. So we'll just switch tanks over. The filter's clean, but yeah, it's just started from diesel, so it's got to be just because of the roll, because it's super rolly. Every day I'm in here. Every day. Hi, Mom. All right, safety first, mate.
I'll do it blindfolded.
Yeehaw, baby.
Wild seas at the moment. He's out there.
finally I feel like we can just relax and enjoy the journey again for a little bit. Touch wood, everything is operating sweetly. Nandji too has really found her stride. She is loving it. I can't believe how short sail we are. It is gusting into the 30s. It's pretty consistent, 20-25 knots. We're gusting up into the 30s, but I didn't think we'd be in a third reef and a stay sail sort of situation, but that's what we're pretty much sailing with. Still using the genoa rather than stay sail, so we can go a bit further downwind because we don't have the pole. So by using the genoa, we can sort of spread the sails out and go a bit further dead downwind, which is nice. And the sea's sort of turning a bit more of a following sea now, so that sort of groundswell that was slapping on the beam has dispersed a bit, and it's all sort of just a following sea now, which is a bit better. And Nandji too loves it. She's surfing amazingly. 8 days, glorious 8 days on the Indian Ocean. Whew.
After the days on end of lighter conditions and constant sail changes, to now be through that frontal ban and to have clear skies and a consistent trade wind blowing, it is time to settle in and watch the world go by. With the shorter sail, the running backstay to windward was tightened to help counter the flex in the mast. There will be no need to shorten sail anymore with a third reef in the main. With this sail setup, we can comfortably handle any gusts up to 40 knots, so with Nandji 2 on course and locked into a broad reach, it felt like this was us for the next week or two as we sail west towards Mauritius. That initial thought of stopping into Cocos Keeling was now a distant memory. The wind was blowing, we could make water daily using the generator, provided the filters remained clean and the lines unblocked. But life was sweet, and land other than Mauritius was out of the question. Even though it got pretty rolly at times with the now 4 metre plus seas, Nandji 2 felt safe and the boat was extremely comfortable and smooth. With the new Hammer Pro rig we installed back in Thailand, our confidence in Nandji was unparalleled, and it was a pleasure to sit back and enjoy the ride. We had this pod of dolphins come and go for over 24 hours, as it felt like they even appreciated Nandji 2's resilience and performance through the ocean. Seeing dolphins on any passage is a good omen. All sailors are superstitious in some ways, and good signs are always welcomed. This is what I've been dreaming of and we've been preparing for the past years of cruising. To now be out here, heading west, it is an undescribable feeling.
They call him bloody Sugar Man. Ooh. Yeah. Rodriguez was his name. Guitar player. Today has been absolutely one of those unexpected days. Like, it's not forecasted to be such light weather, and you know, don't want to jinx ourselves. Touch wood, I'm standing on the teak deck right now, but it has been beautiful. You know, it's just a nice. We're pretty well halfway through. We're 10 days deep. Expect the passage about another week at sea, 8 days at sea. Yeah, so we're approaching the halfway point in distance, over halfway time in time at sea, and it was a lovely little special treat just to be able to just cruise and chill and not be like balls to the wall, hold on to your knickers, sailing like it has been for the last few days. It's beautiful. Have a nice sunset to finish it off with. So good.
What was the favourite part about your
I'm just happy to be here, man. Such a beautiful sunset. Good crew I'm with. Good memories being made. Like Josh said, it's... Don't want to jinx myself talking about it, but it's been a beautiful day. The sea state's pretty calm. Winds are light. Life is good.
How dives these lumps?
Can we head up there real quick? Just stop up there.
Real quick.
Super quick.
Just quickly stuff off at the Maldives for a quick one, eh? Yeah.
Take a ride.
We got time, man. We got heaps of rice.
What is time?
What is time?